Hello and welcome to another episode of Pageants and Pythons. Today we are going to be making Pokemon water slide tattoo coasters. I guess that's right. So I started with 2-part epoxy resin, some pigment paint, and some gold flakes. I've mixed the gold flakes directly into my 2-part epoxy resin, as well as the pigment paste. It kind of kept those separately, so I'm going to have 3 different things to pour from. Use this technique a lot. Really, if you just shove that gold flake in with the epoxy resin, you don't have to chop it up too much, just stir, and it will cut itself up in there. So then I'm going to pour this clear on top of the pigment paste and on top of the gold flakes to kind of even it out. These water slide tattoos are super cool, but they're also super finicky on what they will show up on. They don't really like to show up on super clear, and they really don't like to show up on something with a lot of color either. So I'm doing a very thin layer here because we want to have something for the tattoos to go on. You don't want to have it so full that you can't add clear over top to seal it. So I'm going to spread it out with a popsicle stick. If you want to use something you can reuse, there are silicone ones of these, but I am really bad at cleaning things. So I like to use things that are disposable, but it's completely up to you. And obviously you'll save some money in the long run with some of the things that can be reused. But again, I hate cleaning them. Therefore, I buy these. They come about 50 to a pack for $4, and I think it is worth it to me. So I'm going to spread this over, and then we are going to need to leave it for, I have a resin heating pad, so I need to leave it for about 4 to 6 hours. But if you don't have one, then you can leave it overnight and it's going to harden just perfectly. And something I didn't mention is make sure, even though your resin says to stir for 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to want to stir for 8 to 10. It gets out all the bubbles. I rarely have to use a heat gun. So here's the cute little Pokemon, guys. These are watercolor Pokemon looking things on water slide paper. So what you do is you dunk it in the paper for 30 seconds, and then when you peel it, if you see like this, it peels off in a crystal clear layer. You can order these off Amazon, where I got mine. I think they might have them at Hobby Lobby too. But this is, my daughter is obsessed with Pokemon. Sorry, I don't know enough about it. Somebody told me that's not Charizard on my short, so I thought it was, but I guess I'm wrong. So here is Squirtle. And I'm using, this is a silicone tool that I do use to get out the bubbles that are underneath it and residual water, because it will not cure if there's too much water. So while I'm letting one sit, I'm cutting out the other. Here's everybody's favorite. It is Pikachu. I do know this one. And so we're just going to set him in there really nicely. He went in pretty easily without too much effort. So I'm going to spread it out real nice, real thin. And if you see, it looks like they are almost printed on these coasters. I find things all the time, and I have a little bit of squirrel brain, and as soon as I find something new and cool, I tend to go with that and drop whatever else I'm doing. But these are one of my new favorite techniques, and I'm probably going to try to stick with it for a while. Do we have any Pokemon fans out in the group? Anybody play Pokemon Go or do any of those things? I don't know. So I'm going to, again, kind of push it in all the corners, make sure there's absolutely no water. And that one looks pretty good. And then I'm going to move on. Yeah, it's more bubbles. So let me just kind of press that out with my fingers. See how the water's coming out from under it? All right. So then I'm going to move on to my next one, which is, I think this guy is it Bulbasaur? I think so. They're cute little baby Pokemon, though, and I love these. I purchased the files off an Etsy shop, which I can link below, too. And then I'm going to pour my 2-part epoxy resin. And if you see, because I have stirred this for 10 minutes and let it sit for a while, it is crystal clear. There are absolutely no bubbles. I don't have to worry about using alcohol or a heat gun or any of those things. It is beautiful. Next day, this is my daughter's favorite part. She always says this for me, is the demolding. So first is what I thought was Charmander. Someone told me it is not, so I would love to know who he is. It's got the gold leaf that shows up in the back. All right. Next is this little Bulbasaur guy. I love the way it looks in the back, almost like a marbling. And you see they really pop on that white background, but the gold also gives it a little color. All right, next is Squirtle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know who's your favorite Pokemon, and then like and subscribe, and let me know if there's something you want me to make next and another character. I'm going to be making some Taylor Swift coasters next, I think, because that's another thing my daughter is absolutely in love with right now, and we just saw that concert in theaters. Thank you, like and subscribe.